This one is the cream of the crop. It's been going on in the news and it's become a little bit controversial. If you're not aware, the United States has something called birthright citizenship, meaning that anyone who was born on U.S. soil is automatically deemed a citizen. For example, I was born on U.S. soil, therefore I am a citizen by default. Same thing for my siblings. But there's a lot of controversy in this case because the 14th Amendment, if you're not aware, the 14th Amendment pretty much stated that anyone who was born in the U.S. is therefore granted a citizen. This was at the response. This amendment was passed during the Reconstruction era. That way, because again, a lot of slaves at the time, they were not considered citizens because of their skin color. But the 14th Amendment states that anyone who was born on U.S. soil, which at that point were to a lot of slaves who were not citizens, they were born on U.S. soil. Therefore, because of that amendment, they're now considered citizens because they're born on U.S. soil. However, there's been a lot of controversy in the sense of whether the 14th Amendment applies to just the former slaves, because nowadays a lot of people are exploiting the 14th Amendment, not to mention the birthright citizenship policy. For example, there's this term called anchor baby, meaning that a lot of illegal immigrants come into the United States, they sneak across the border illegally, then they give birth on U.S. soil, that way, and therefore they mean that child a citizen. And then the reason why they're called anchor babies is because since they're children, they're dependent on their parents. It makes it harder for the parents to be deported because, again, children are dependent on their parents. That's why they're called anchor babies. There's controversy in the sense that they cannot separate a child who's dependent on their parents, even though the parents are legal immigrants. That's why they're called anchor babies. That's been a huge controversy because a lot of people, a lot of conservatives are arguing whether or not it applies in general to anyone, or it was just there to apply for the former slaves that were not considered citizens, but in order to give them citizenship. There's a huge controversy about this. However, when I see the title, I'm going to let you know right now. If you're reading this, I'll read you the title before I read the article. But the title reads, Trump says he is seriously looking at ending birthright citizenship. If you read the title and you're worried, don't be. You want to know why? Because Trump can't do that. He can't. The president cannot amend the Constitution. In order for you to amend the Constitution or make a change, you have to get 2/3 of both houses, meaning the 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate need to approve of this, and then you need to get 3/4 of all the states to approve of it as well. The president has no say in whether or not he wants to amend the Constitution. So if you're worried about this, don't worry. You guys are fine. But again, the topic is still there. People are arguing whether or not the 14th Amendment should apply to people who are born on U.S. soil, or it only apply to the former slaves who were freed after the Civil War. But like I said, if you're looking at this title and you're worried, don't worry. Like, he can't do it. Whether or not you support Trump or not, that's a whole different issue. It's a matter of whether or not he can actually do it. Legally, he can't. The president has no say on any amendment whatsoever. It's just the Congress, House and Senate, and then the states. The president has no say whatsoever. So when he says something like this, I can't take him seriously because I know he can't do it. So if you're looking at this thing, oh my god, I can't believe I'm not going to be a citizen anymore, don't worry. You guys are fine. I guarantee you. You guys are completely fine. Right? But anyways, the article's from Reuters, and it reads, Trump says he is seriously looking at ending birthright citizenship. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that his administration was seriously looking at ending the right of citizenship for U.S.-born children of non-citizens and people who immigrate to the United States illegally. We're looking at this very seriously, birthright citizenship, where you have a baby on your land, you can walk over the border, have a baby, on your land, you walk over the border, have a baby. Congratulations, that baby is now a U.S. citizen. It's frankly ridiculous, Trump told reporters outside the White House. And I'm going to take a break here. He does make a point here, though. People do exploit this birthright citizenship thing, but again, the interpretation, it goes either way. The 14th Amendment, some people interpret it as a birthright citizenship, meaning that if you're born in the U.S. soil, regardless of your race, because again, some people believe it only applies to the former slaves, but people think that the 14th Amendment grants birthright citizenship. While some people are saying that it should only apply to the former slaves, because again, some people do take advantage of this. That's why the term is called anchor baby. It's not racist to say it. I'm Hispanic, so you can't call me a racist. But again, the term anchor baby, that's what it means. Parents who are crossing over the border illegally have children, they give birth to them on U.S. soil. that child is therefore a U.S. citizen, and therefore the parent they use them as a means to stay in the U.S. despite not being citizens. That's why it's called an anchor baby. That's why they're called anchor babies. But again, I do agree with the fact that people do exploit this, though. I'll agree with Trump with that. It's ridiculous that people do exploit this, but he can't do anything about it. So again, you guys are safe. Trust me, you guys are safe. But anyways, Trump has been cracking down on immigration, a central plank of his presidency and re-election campaign. But many of the administration's sweeping rule changes and executive orders have been stymied by the courts. The Republican president had told Axios News website in October 2018 that he would end birthright citizenship through an executive order. Guess what, Trump? You cannot. You're going against the Constitution, so you cannot. You. At that point, you will literally be giving Democrats a reason to impeach you legally under legal terms. So you can't do it. An executive order, you can't do it. You're violating the 14th Amendment, dude. So don't do it. He said he was going to do it. Hasn't done it yet, but legally, he can't do it. So don't worry about it, you guys. Don't worry. You're not going to lose your citizenship if you were born here. Don't worry about it, okay? He can't do it legally. He can't do it. He can't do it. Okay? Experts have said such a move would run afoul of the U.S. Constitution. There you go. Right there. His move would violate the Constitution. So you guys have nothing to worry about. The Constitution's 14th Amendment, like I mentioned earlier, passed after the Civil War to ensure that Black Americans had full citizenship rights, granted citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States. And that's where people are saying the interpretation. That's the conflict. They don't know. The interpretation is not the fact that they're born in the U.S. It's who it applies to. That's the problem. It says all persons. Therefore, if it says all persons, I'm going with the Constitution. I'm sorry whether or not you agree with it or not. Again, it says all persons. Trump can't do anything about this. If he does, he's going against the Constitution. Like I said, it's a huge controversial issue. I will acknowledge that. Some people do take advantage of the 14th Amendment and the birthright citizenship. They do take advantage of it. Hence the term anchor babies. But again, the only way we can change this is through Congress and the states approving it. They have to ratify an amendment, or they have to modify it. The president can't do anything to change it. And it has since routinely been interpreted to grant citizenship to most people born in the United States, whether or not their parents are American citizens or legally living in the United States. And that includes the article. Like I said, this is a big one. It's going on around the news. I'm pretty sure you've heard about it already. But Trump can't do anything about this. He says he's seriously looking to any birthright citizenship. He can't. He can't. I'm sorry. If you're a Trump supporter, I'm not going to criticize you or anything like that. But Trump cannot do this because he'll be violating the Constitution. The Democrats are trying to impeach Trump for anything he does nowadays. If Trump were to say hi to someone, it's like, oh my God, Trump said hi. Impeach him. Right? I don't think Trump is dumb enough to give the Democrats and the House actual ammunition to impeach him. Again, if he goes against the Constitution, I would say those are grounds for impeachment because he's going against the highest law of the land. He can't do anything about this. Whether or not you agree with this point of opinion, that's one thing. But legally, that's another. He can't do anything about this. Whether or not he wants to, no matter how bad he wants to, he can't do it. And if he's just saying this to troll people, because he's done this in the past, he likes to troll people. I know because he did this with the squad. Well, again, if he's just doing this to screw with people, again, I don't think he's dumb enough to give Democrats actual ammunition to impeach him. Because the Democrats in the House, they're trying to do everything they can to impeach the guy. And they have nothing. They're going with the Russia collusion. Even though it was a huge flop, there was no evidence to prove that he was actually guilty. And yet they're still pushing on that narrative. People are getting sick of it. And now they're saying they're trying to impeach him for anything they can. So, again, I don't think Trump is dumb enough to give the Democrats actual ammunition by issuing an executive order to end birthright citizenship. Because, again, you can't. It's the Constitution. You can't do anything. You'll be breaking the law. But if he is considering it, then he can't do it. And I'm pretty sure someone in his administration is going to tell him, Mr. President, you cannot do this. Because the Constitution clearly states that all people born in U.S. soil are citizens. Whether or not, and I can tell you right now, legally, he can't do it. But I also acknowledge there's people who do take advantage of this. And again, I'm not flip-flopping by any degree. But I do acknowledge that there are people who take advantage of this by simply sneaking over the border illegally and then having a child on U.S. soil. People do take advantage of this, and a lot of people are saying this is a problem. So, where do we go from here? I don't know. But like I said, Trump cannot do this by himself. He cannot do anything. Actually, correction. He can't do anything. Period. The president cannot. Doesn't have any say on how the Constitution is amended. Remember, if you're aware, if any president, not just Trump, but if any president says they're going to do something that goes against the Constitution or something like that, remember this: 2/3 of both houses, 3/4 of all states. That's how the Constitution is amended. The president has no say whatsoever. So it's not just Trump, but if a future Democratic president or any future president of whatever party wants to implement a policy that goes against the Constitution because he wants to end birthright citizenship or something similar, let's say take away the Second Amendment, guess what? They can't do it. 2/3 of both houses, 3/4 of all states. That's how it works. That's how it's always been. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Trump is really dumb enough to go against the Constitution? Do you think he's just trolling people? Because he is known for trolling people in the past. Like, I mean, seriously, look at the Squad. Pelosi doesn't like the Squad. He tried to distance herself from them, and then Trump suddenly calls them out on it, calls them about, going to the countries or say their policies work, and then come back and tell them how it works. And then Pelosi is forced to work with him, even though she doesn't like him. So again, he is known for trolling people. He's known for that. So do you think he's just trolling them? Do you think he's just playing stupid? Or do you think he's seriously considering this and therefore risking giving the Democrats actual ammunition for grounds of impeachment? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the like button. Share the video if you because again, I really do appreciate that YouTube has decided to do rank independent political commentary, but I don't think they're gonna do ranked one because again, I'm talking in criticism of Trump. So I don't think they're gonna do it. But just in case, if you want to share the video, I appreciate that. That lets me know that you like hearing what I have to say, regardless of whether or not you agree with me or not, and you want other people to hear what I have to say as well. Again, comment what you think. I will try to reply as often as I can. Unfortunately, I'm a very busy person, so I won't be able to reply as often. But again, your comments, your opinions are very much appreciated. I actually want to engage in debate. I want to engage in a discussion. I want to see different people's opinions, so I encourage you to comment. And again, share the video and like the video as well. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button as well. That way you never miss an upload. This is going to be the last segment for the night. So, for the day. Sorry, not night, the day. So I'll be uploading more segments tomorrow, hopefully. And if I can't, I'll do them at a later time. Hopefully you guys can have a good rest of the day and stay awesome.